Rosann, we've known each other for 3 decades.
Yes, a long time.
And you have been a professional counselor.
As you have been a professional counselor, how many people have we known in Hong Kong?
Yes, quite a lot.
So many different people.
And so many changes.
And that's why we want to think about women now and women then, and how women have changed over these years.
That must be very interesting.
Yes.
And it covered different generations.
Always.
Well, if they're interested in what we are talking about, how are they going to find us?
You're going to find us Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, PsychoAlchemy. We are Women Now and Then.
See you there. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Without knowing, it's already the 12th episode, Rosann.
Already.
And in the past, we have talked so much about our body, what's going on with our relationship. And last week, we talked about is how to clean up our mess
Yes,
internally,
yeah.
emotionally. And we also talk about, sometimes women need a lot of friends to talk about our issues. So we cover a lot of time when women are at home in relationship. I think in this episode 12, we should talk about women and work.
Which is a common thing.
Yes.
Most women, and it's not only work, it's work outside the home.
Yes.
Big distinction there.
Yeah, right.
And women earning money, not only the respect or the glory or the happiness.
Yeah.
So how did we get that way, Dorothy?
well-
how did Hong Kong get that way?
Well, actually, I think in our second or third episode, we did talk about how women secretly save up money, right?
yes.
Remember that part,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So
yes,
at that time, a lot of women still have to stay at home, and the only way they have money is their husband gives them money for the market, and they save up $5 here, $10 there, right?
Tuck it into a pocket.
Tuck it in a little pocket. But the thing is, as the economy, I think in the 60s and early 70s, in Hong Kong especially, the economy is picking up, and there were quite a lot of little factories. They do what we call it light industries.
Yes.
Toys,
Wigs.
garments,
The embroidery.
embroidery part.
People used to sometimes take the collar
Yes.
of a garment home or embroider the pocket.
Yes.
And then someone would come to collect 400 pockets.
Yeah.
And then that goes to someplace else. So light industry and home industry.
Home industry comes
Yes.
together. And I remember at that time we also help as children. If there's something like that sent to our home,
Yes.
actually we all put it on the table, and everyone will contribute. We'll do a little bit. Yeah.
Yes.
So the kids might do the easiest things like just putting staples, but the elder, the more mature women will do all the details. So I
Yes.
think it's so interesting. That's how women make money, and still home a little bit. Sometimes if they are really good, they will go out to the factory and really have a sewing machine and start
Yes.
working. Actually, at that time, I think in the 70s and even in the early 80s, a lot of money were made by the women because
Yes.
they have their special
And they grouped
craft.
together.
Yeah.
And the kids helped, like making a purse. The kids could sort out the zippers.
Yes.
By color, by size.
Yes.
And so you might have 6 or 7 people working together.
yeah.
All women
All
and
women.
kids.
Yeah.
Some teenagers.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that was the time when we learned a lot of division of labor.
Yes.
And the neighbors actually are very close.
Yeah.
If something happened to this woman, she cannot finish it
That for
within a
that day?
period of time.
Yes.
Yeah, she can just knock on the other door and say, "Hey, Mrs. Lee, are you free?
Yeah.
Can you help me with this? I have this extra bag. I cannot finish." So you can see all this neighborhood thing.
Right. And then things started to change.
Yeah. When more and more women find out if they go to the factory, they make more money, so they leave home. They left their kids. At that time, it's okay to leave your children at home, right?
Yes.
So then the women all go to the factories to work. I think that is like the 80s.
Yes.
Yeah. And by doing that, actually the money comes that came with the job, and make the family much well off.
Yes.
Right? And also make Hong Kong one of the 4 little dragon in Asia.
Yes.
Right? Singapore.
Because we were producing a lot.
Yeah, Singapore, South Korea, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. The 4 little dragons. But as the production is moved to China, to the rest of Asia, actually these women who are so comfortable with going out to work, and actually they can start doing some very simple office work, right? Maybe doing a little typing, or maybe doing a little bit of tidy up the place.
Yes.
And if you are more educated, you become secretaries.
Right.
Right, and you can see the women are, if they're in the service industry, in sales, in customer service, wow, women can finally
Moving up.
Yeah, moving up.
Yeah.
And I think this episode, I really want to talk about, I can see a big change in the
yes.
job market. And a lot of time, as I have another role, I'm also a corporate trainer. Sometimes I find out a lot of companies are very comfortable with hiring just women saleswomen, right? So in the past, it's like salesmen, right? Salesmen. But now they would just tell me specifically, I only have saleswomen. It seems
And
the
why
sales.
do they say that, Dorothy?
Well, I think depend on the product, obviously, right? So if it's more a consumer product, a garment, a cosmetic, or beautician kind of product, women are the number one
Of
candidate,
course.
right? And also because it seems to me that the corporate people will think women are so natural in communication, in customer service,
Yes.
in details. So they don't need to train them that much. So that's why they hire female in sales business,
Right.
and also in customer service,
And insurance business.
insurance
Insurance
business.
business.
Yeah, a lot of women.
Women,
a lot of women. So
Wow, but
one
that changed Hong Kong.
Oh, definitely. So you can imagine if the women have to work long hour, how it affect the family,
Oh,
how it
yes.
affect the spouse, and the
Yes.
children, and the in-laws.
Yes.
And that's why the importance of the domestic helpers. Everything just fall into one place. Yeah.
And also family planning came in with birth
Yeah.
control pills
Yeah.
in the 70s.
Yes.
So we had the economy going up.
Yeah.
We had women going out to work.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have this, she really has a choice. She does not have to have more than 2 children. Remember, it was 2 is enough.
2 is enough.
In
Yeah.
the 70s,
Family
2
planning.
is, 2 is enough.
Yeah.
So this happened. It changed. It changed how families operate.
Mm-hmm.
It changed how women felt about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every woman I know would rather work and get paid rather than work and not get paid.
And not get paid. Yeah.
Yes.
Domestic work is work very hard, but with so little satisfaction
Yeah,
sometimes,
but
right?
it's called the second shift. She
yeah.
finishes one job, she goes home to another.
Do another job.
Even if she has a household helper,
Yes.
the other job is maybe the children,
Mm-hmm.
or they grow up, then the teenagers, more of a headache than preschoolers.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, teenagers, they all have issues.
Yeah.
If not that, she's probably taking care of her mother or her auntie or her uncle on his father's
Side,
cousin.
yeah.
And so she finishes her job, but she's not finished with work for the day.
Not yet. And also have to coordinate the work of the maid. It's
Yes.
actually coordination is a lot of work,
Yes.
what to eat, where to go, where to pick up the kids, which after school activities the maid has to attend. All these are arranged by the mother.
Absolutely.
So it's like a double work, a work at work place and work at home place. So it's so demanding.
And in the workplace, there are 4 or 5 or 8 and 9 of us together. We know when the woman's on the phone and she looks very strained, that means something's wrong with the kids, something's wrong with the piano lesson, something's wrong with this one, something wrong with that one. Leave her alone, let her finish that
Yeah.
so she can go back to work. We're quite tolerant of the idea. 3 o'clock, 3:30, did those kids get home from school? Everyone's on the phone briefly.
Yes.
Are they okay? And then we move on.
Go back to your work.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
And also in the workplace, I would see if your boss is also a woman and you're a woman working there, may be good because she knows what you have to go through every day, right? But if you so happen your boss is a man, he never need to know what's going on with the kid. He will never understand why you are so much bothered by your kids'
You have
education.
somebody helping at home.
Exactly.
Why are you worried?
So
Wow.
and I would see women are always in this how would we say trajectory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trajectory.
Whether she decided to move on to her career or to just be happy, satisfied with a middle management role, and then just forget about her advancement. And this is really a big struggle. And you can see a lot of women are very talented. I'm quite lucky. A lot of senior management I met up with are women CEO, women directors, and actually they are very bright. Sometimes when I talk to them, actually they are more observing, more determined than a lot of male I talk to. Maybe it's much harder for a woman to climb up the ladder than the men in the traditional business world. So once they reach to that level, actually they need to have two strengths. They need to have this feminine style, understanding, empathy, very, very effective communication skill. But at the same time, she also need to have this male decision-making, decisiveness, authoritative and commanding position. So it's like she need to balance the two things.
Yes. As I talk to women supervisors of other women, a critical issue in women's lives is the age of her youngest child. Now, if she's got more than one child, she's got one child or more than one child, until that child is in all-day school, that woman is not ready to think about training, promotion, moving ahead. Then the next critical stage is the social relationships of her child in school and with teenagers.
Yes.
Because if that's not good, then the mother is thinking, I have to arrange I have to arrange homework. I have to find another tutor. I got to find better sports. I got to do this. So there's a little bit of the brain is chugging along, helping with that. Does she ask the father to help with the social relationships of the kids? Never.
Yeah. I don't know why we're so stupid. The man should also get involved. I have one case a year ago. Actually, this young boy, when he came to see me, I think he was about 16. So a little bit behind in his schoolwork, very little incentive to go to school. So everything was like behind. So the mom really worried. So obviously, it was the mother who took the son to see me. And after I talked to the son, I realized the big problem is the father has always been the missing father. His work is actually in Macau. Whether he likes it or not, all 5 days of the week, he's in Macau. He can only come back on maybe sometimes Saturday morning, and so he has Saturday and Sunday. So you can imagine every day all the daily schoolwork. There's no way the father can help. It's okay when the boy was 12 and below. But once the boy reached 14,
and they have school exams, and they have special projects and assignments, and they have to travel, and the mother is juggling another schedule.
Very difficult. So you can see the mother is already having a hard time because her spouse is not around, and the kids after 14, 15, 16, the problem was so big she cannot handle. So when she talked to me, I said, look, even though you can come to me, I can give you some advice, but 99% of the time you have to handle it alone. You better talk to your husband, see if there's anything he can do. Otherwise, this is critical year. It's the IB program, and whether he will go to the States, go to Australia, go to Canada, go to UK, it's going to affect his life.
It's sitting on her heart.
Exactly. So after I talked to her, so she's very determined. Okay, I'll get my husband to come back to Hong Kong. Actually, I was surprised. Her husband decided to take a year off. Right?
Wow, because that is wonderful.
He is in a pretty high position. And I think he had worked very hard in Macau for the last maybe 7-8 years, already established a lot of things. And though he just talked to the owner of the business, said, look, if you still think I'm good, I can still come back to work. But I need to devote myself at least 1 year.
I had a woman from a Hong Kong bank who took off the year that her son was 12. She was afraid she was losing him altogether. So those are the rare cases. But one of the things I find in working with women in longer-term career counseling is I say, okay, so you have this 12-year-old. It's going to be difficult for the next 3 years.
At least.
But let's look beyond. In 3 or 4 years, that child of yours, girl or boy, will be finished with secondary school. And it will be a heartache, but they're going to find a job or they're going to go away somewhere. And she goes, but wait a minute. Now, wait a minute, Gloria, what do you want to do? And she said, well, it doesn't matter because I have this family. And I said, stop. You're going to be working for the rest of your life. I said, look, you got kids you want to go to school. You got those elderly parents you got to take. You're going to be working. So do you want this job, or do you want the next job, or do you want to get promoted, or do you want to go back to school? She said, I can't think of that. You must. Yeah. So let's take it one step at a time. And it begins with, what do you want to do? How much energy you want to put in your job? How much are you the person who feels creative? She said, no, not really. I just want to make money. Okay, then what about administration? Are you pretty good at that? Yeah, I like that. What about languages? Well, right now, and then she says, I'm learning French. I said, so you took some time in addition to your job. She said, now on the cell phone, you can learn 5 minutes a day. So that relaxes me. I said, wow, we have discovered some talent here.
Yes.
You have your job. You think you might like to do administrative work. You are learning French. Let's give you some credit for what you're doing career-wise.
Yes.
And she said, but I always have to fit it in. Yes, fit it in, but maybe a little bit of priority for your hope.
Yes.
For your dream, because that kid's going to grow up. That kid will grow up.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Career counseling with women is so challenging. And so easy with a man. So easy, because my wife's taking care of all of that.
Yes.
My sister's taking care of it. I hired a housekeeper. It's not in the brain of the male being to say, well, I care about what's happening with the children, with the household helper, with my mother. Somebody else has assigned that task. Whereas with women, I never find they assign the caring to somebody else.
Exactly. That's the maybe the reason why women are so drained every day. It's not just whether the thing has been done. She also check on the things has been done and how's everyone feeling, right? And for men it's so easy. Did you help the son with the homework? Yeah, I did. He did his homework, but he is so unhappy. But the man, it's done. What is done is done. Wow. So let him play with the computer for 15 minutes, then he'll be okay. But then the wife will say something like, why is he playing with the computer? He's unhappy, right? That's the best thing. It's all task, right? If something happened, give him another task. But for women, we are thinking, no, it's not like that. And every time you handle the homework with the boy, and he always end up very upset. Did you ever talk to yourself? No. You just want me to handle today's homework. I've done it, so I can go back to my computer. So leave me alone.
Well, there we've started.
Yeah.
We did a little bit of the history of the work in the home.
Yeah.
And now we have this world where 7 levels of development at the same time. Some working at home, some working at jobs they don't like, some working for money. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about are how women can actually prepare for careers.
Yes.
Next section.
Okay.
Dorothy 啊，啲人咧成日話我哋9型人格嘅4號仔咧，就硬係咧好多愁善感，又分外多情嘅喎。你點睇呢一樣嘢？
咁就見仁見智嘅。不過比起其餘嗰8個 number 咧，我哋又真係好似好多時都被情所困咁樣，真係會令人會覺得我哋好多情嘅。
咁但係情又係乜嘢嘅一回事咧？
咁其實情好闊㗎，有對父母嘅情啦，對兄弟姊妹嘅情啦，友情啦咁。不過我諗最困擾我哋嘅就係啲痴情咯。同埋因為情而帶嚟嘅好多嘅傷痛。
咁啊，如果大家咧想知道我哋有幾咁多情咧，就留意我哋個節目啦。逢星期4晚夜晚10點正，練心堂濃本多情。
Dorothy, we talk about today's women and the job market. And actually, today's women are many different kinds of women.
Yep.
And many different role models. So just what do I mean by kinds of women? We have single women.
Yeah.
We have women who are in love with being in love. Okay, and so love is a high priority.
Yes.
We have moms who are burdened down with motherhood, home management, being a wife, and working.
Yeah.
We have women who are excelling in the years of 45 to 60, when children are grown, their own or others. Those women seem to be really taking off career-wise.
Yes.
And then we still have in the job market women in their 50s and 60s, because Hong Kong doesn't look down upon women so much as in more developed countries, in US, North America. If you're 60, you have to retire. Not here in Hong Kong.
Not here in Hong Kong. Yes.
You can keep going. But then we have women in their 70s and also still working some. Now, that's a lot of different age groups and a lot of different job training, because the women who were in their 50s and 60s, they saw that they could work, but they might not have thought that they have a career. Whereas our girls, and I say girls happily, our 30-year-olds, they know they have careers.
Yes.
Some of them are actually, and let's just talk about this, some of our 30-year-olds don't want to get married. And they certainly don't want to have children because they have seen their mothers and their aunties being held back.
Yes, get
from
stuck.
expressing themselves. Now, expressing yourself could mean I want to make money, or it could mean I really want a professional job. I want to feel what it feels like to have a professional job.
Yeah.
So our 30s are very career aware. Now, between 30 and 40, very interesting things happen, because some women want to have a baby. Okay, they hear that the time has come, but they no longer feel, not all of them feel, they have to get married. So some of our 30-year-olds are marrying men who already have children, so they have children part of the time. Some of our 30-year-olds are adopting children because they don't want pregnancy, but they want a child. And some are actually very anxiously trying to get pregnant. That's a special group too.
Yes.
So we have, again, the stage in life where you're trying to do the motherhood thing. It's not all the same. Our mothers and our grandmothers, you got married and you had children, or you had children and you had to take care of them. That was your job.
Simple formula.
Now it's not a simple formula. So then we have women in their 40s who are seeing, the extended lifespan dawns on them that you put together the amount of money you have when you're 40 and you think 20 years you're going to make enough money to stop working. Dream on, sweetheart. Dream on. You will not have enough money. So that's when I see the women coming back and saying, Rosann, I'm 40, I'm 43, I'm 45. Should I be doing another training program?
Or go for an MBA program.
Go for an MBA. And sometimes it's a little bit MBA, and I don't know whether I should stay with this guy or not. Now, thinking about marriage is not a bad thing, because she married when she was 21, 25, 27. She had the child she wants, or she's tried out marriage. And she thinks, I'm 45. I'm going to live until I'm 85. Do I want to spend the rest of my life with this man? And I go, okay, well, what do you want?
Yes.
Gloria, honey, what do you want? She goes, I really don't know. And that's the dilemma of many of our women, because we have so many choices and so many work role models. And we know we need money, but what's the best guess at how to use our resources? What's the best guess? Oh, it's hard.
Yeah, and
It's
also
hard.
when you talk about women in the 40s, decided whether to go for a man to support, or maybe a lifelong partner, or pursue the career. In my case, in my counseling, I see more and more women go for the career.
Oh,
Yeah,
I do.
yeah. I think it's not because men are not reliable. It's just that to them, it seems if you put in that much of effort in your work, you will get a certain amount of result. Because the business world to them is a little bit more fair. You know, if you're willing to put in your time and you deliver what your boss asks you, you can more or less get your a very good pay at the same time advancement. But from what I heard, the women told me sometimes they put in so much effort in the relationship, and it's just one day the man would just come up. Well, I finally figure out I'm not the marrying type. So if you want to stay on, you stay. But if you are expecting me to marry you in 1 or 2 years' time, well, it won't happen.
Yeah.
And that is quite disappointing.
Oh, that
I had
hurts the
I had a
soul.
new case last week. This woman actually, she's quite bright, brilliant woman, and her last relationship was not good, so she had stopped seeing men for almost 2 years. And last year she met this man. She felt she's pretty good. He's pretty good, and she really want to settle down on a relationship. And somehow the relationship turned out quite smooth. And last week she came to see me and said, Dorothy, I need to see you urgently. I said, why?
Wow.
I might need a marriage counseling. I said, huh? That soon? You know, that's my response.
Yes.
I think you are with that guy for less than 6 months, right? And then, why don't I come to see you first and tell you what's going on? And then this woman told me, the guy and her, they are both going dating, and that relationship was quite okay. And because the man's mother had cancer before, but relapsed.
Oh.
And this man was quite I think he's quite, how to say, Hausen. It's like a good son. And he know that his mom really worry about his future. So he says, since we are doing quite well in our relationship, why don't we get married?
Oh.
Okay? So I can see that this woman, deep in her heart, she's happy. Because
Yes.
that's what she wants.
Yes.
But at the same time, her mind told her, well, is it a little bit too hasty? Especially is mainly because the man's mother had this cancer issue.
Yes.
And she just don't feel right. And so interesting. She said, why don't we have marriage pre-marriage counseling?
Yeah.
And I said, why don't you tell me your story first? Because the last time I saw her, she's just start having this relationship. So I can't. It's less than 6 months. I'm a little bit worried. So she told me everything, and then she told me about her concern, and she even told me one thing that really surprised me, because this man is quite artistic, and he had his own studio apartment, so he do his painting and do his home thing, right? And then, well, the man said to her, even though we are going to get married, can I keep my studio? Well, even we are going to get married, but, well, you know, I want to tell you, even though you are going to be my wife, I don't think you can have control on my paintings. So I hear prenup kind of thing, right?
Yes.
I don't feel comfortable. So she began to tell me a little bit more about the terms and condition. So, and at that moment, I asked this lovely lady, I really can tell she really want to get married. And I said, you know, you sure you want the couple to see me next week? I'm not sure what I'm going to say is going to encourage
Yes.
or discourage this marriage. And she said, why did you say that? You know, I don't feel very comfortable.
Yeah, feelings are real.
Yeah,
Feelings are real.
Because I can feel your urgency,
yes.
but I can feel his hesitation too.
Oh.
Right? He's doing it mainly for his mother, not because of you. I don't feel good. And I would tell you one thing I usually do is, when I am so uncomfortable, I'll ask myself, if who I'm seeing in front of me is not a client, it's my siblings, it's my sister,
Yes.
what would I say?
Ah.
That's what I will always ask myself. Then I have to be honest with you. If you are my sister, I will tell you, look, can you wait?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Always good.
Right. And because this woman works in a bank, so she can get very low interest, loan mortgage.
Yes.
And she's quite doing quite well. So I can see that by marrying her, the man has nothing to lose in a sense.
Exactly.
A lot to gain. And he even keep his studio apartment, right? And all his work belongs to him. So I was thinking, I look at this woman and she's doing so well in her banking business. I said, well, why don't you think a little bit more, right? And she was saying, oh, I'm in this age. If I get married and I want a child, a baby, it's going to be late. And I said, the man knows your age right at the beginning, right? And she said, I don't know. I don't want to lose this opportunity.
Yes.
So it's like what you said, career-wise, she's doing so well.
Yes.
But right at this time of her life, she want to have a marriage. She want to have a baby. And this is the time when I say, I see a lot of smart women make very foolish choice.
Oh, my.
This biological clock, and this really want to belong to someone.
Yes.
This whole urge of having a family. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what is right, what is wrong. So what would you suggest if she is your client?
That it's so difficult for women to say how much they want to have a child. It's truly a biological urge. So I pose the issue, what if you become pregnant but don't get married?
Okay.
Because all of the options, including the bank loan and the mortgages and taking care of... But again, it's like, Gloria, you have several issues. Your relationship with the man, the man's relationship with his mother, the man's relationship with his studio. You want to have a baby. How does he feel about you having a baby?
Yeah.
What will that do about taking care of the mother if you have a baby? How will your life be? Can we look 3 years from now? You have a baby, and then what? And in all of this, when the woman is in that state of mind, it's very difficult for her to look at her career.
No way.
Because our culture says motherhood, relationships, care
overrides everything.
So it's no wonder that we have difficulty. As well as women like your client, we have so many women in their 30s and 40s now in Hong Kong who chose not to get married. Well, what is their family? Sometimes they form work, peers, friendship group. They don't call it that, but they're all going to Bangkok together.
Oh, yeah, together. Right.
3 girls, 5 girls, 7 girls.
Yes.
And why are they going? Get away from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Pay for a really nice hotel.
Yeah.
Get a massage. Go shopping. I earn this money. I can spend it any way I want.
Yes.
And then the girls, the women, enjoy talking the girl talk.
Yeah.
How is your job? How will you get ahead? How do you deal with that boss? How do you deal with this boss? How can you get... And there's a lot of information transferring on the workplace, because what these work clusters have in common is this is a work family.
Yeah.
They might not all be working for the same company, but they know each other because they all took a course together.
Right.
They all did a management training together. They did something. We're going to Bangkok.
Yeah.
And the question then comes, 3 months from now, we should really go to Korea. Because it's going to be beautiful in the autumn.
Yeah.
And you can buy such nice leather goods.
Yes.
It's not that they're all going to buy, but they're going to be with the work family. Now, in the 70s, there were not... there must have been some women, but very few.
Oh, very few.
Most women in the 70s, and we're only going back, 40 years, 2 generations, their work family were the neighbors and the teenagers. So human beings have this need to be gregarious, to be part of a group, but we're also in this day and age forming new kinds of families.
Yes. Yeah, when you said that, exactly all my girlfriends are doing right now. The weather is so good. They group together, they go to Los Angeles to or go to those warehouse outlet, and then another group go to Japan for the flowers, another group go to Korea for the shopping, right? And all of them some of them are married. They just leave the child and the mother and the father, or if they are single, they will just go. They just join a group of 7, group of 5, group of 4. Well, yeah.
And go. Now, another kind of group that's forming are what we might call spiritual development groups. Because women feel, in their 40s, and they feel something is lacking. They're not the same as their mothers and their aunties. They're not married, so where is their family? So we have an increase in the number of retreats. And it can be a weekend in the countryside or a weekend near Bangkok or near
Bhutan.
And in this, you're going to spend a certain amount of time alone. Well, anybody who's been working for 17 hours a day, time alone seems like a good thing.
Idea.
Get in touch with yourself, have meaningful discussions, look at the beautiful sunsets, and they feel refreshed. And then they begin to wonder, well, is this my family? This is more my tribe. I hear this word.
Tribe.
I hear this word a lot.
Yeah.
I'm with my tribe. These are my people. And many of our Hong Kong girls, our Hong Kong women, are also quite happy to go back to their own family for Chinese New Year or Yum Cha on the weekends. But not every weekend. They're with their tribe. And there's this thing about, I made this money. I want to spend it my way. I want to spend it my way. Questions come. Do you give money to your mother? Do you give money to your parents? Many are. Many are. But some not so much anymore. Not so much the way
they use it on themselves.
Yes.
Actually, you brought up a very interesting thing. In the past, even the women, when they went to work, they make extra money. So in order to make the family have more money to spend on, right? But now women, when they work, they make a lot of money, they just spend it on themselves. So they feel less guilty. They can buy their beautiful handbag, go to their lovely holiday, go to the spa, go to the yoga thing. So yeah, it's like the working woman now, just because of that extra income, they enjoy more freedom.
And that's what we're going to talk about in the next section. Does the freedom bring you happiness? Yeah.
Dorothy 啲人咧成日話我哋9型人格嘅4號仔咧，就硬係咧好多愁善咁，有分外多情嘅喎。你點睇呢一樣嘢？
咁就見仁見智嘅。不過比起其餘嗰8個 number 咧，我哋又真係好似好多時都被情所困咁樣，真係會令人會覺得我哋好多情嘅。
咁但係情又係乜嘢嘅一回事咧？
咁其實情好闊㗎，有對父母嘅情啦，對兄弟姊妹嘅情啦，友情啦咁。不過我諗最困擾我哋嘅就係啲痴情咯。同埋因為情而帶嚟嘅好多嘅傷痛。
咁啊，如果大家咧想知道我哋有幾咁多情咧，就留意我哋個節目啦。逢星期4晚夜晚10點正，練心堂濃滿多情。
Dorothy, does working, employed, being outside the home and employed, it brings women money. Does it bring women freedom? Whoa, so many role models these days.
Well, I mean, to me, it's definitely more freedom, right?
Yes.
And maybe my mom's time, even though she worked, she make money, and she still feel guilty if she goes out herself, do her own things. And she told me sometimes she just went out and have afternoon tea with her classmates, right? And when after 2 hours or 3 hours, she'll look into the watch. Oh, maybe I should head back home, or maybe I should head back to pick up my father in the office. And she will always emphasize, when she walks in, my father will lightly say something like, "Oh, so you are back, having a good time?" And my mom felt so guilty.
Wow.
As if she had left my father in the office. But actually, my father said something very innocently, right? Just asking, "Do you have a good time?" And yes, okay, it's okay.
Yeah, and look at her. She's the outlook of her time, though. That was that was what women did.
Right.
Take care of the family, take care of the men, take care of the children. Oh, bless her. Bless her for being such a woman of her time.
Yeah, but then at my age, I work very hard.
Yes.
You know me. I sometimes work at weekends. I feel tired, but I don't feel guilty.
Yes.
Right? I don't spend time with my family. I just feel, I work very hard because people need me, so I work very hard. But I don't have that guilty feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That's already a giant step.
Oh, yes.
Right. But still, if I go out with our friends, like for this kind of trip,
yes,
shopping at Japan or spa at Thailand, I will make sure I will arrange another trip with my mother in order to balance it out. Because I don't want her to feel jealous. My daughter only have a good time with her friends, not with me. So I will, if I'm planning a trip on June, I'll make sure I'll take her out in May, even for 2 or 3 days. At least she has something to, to talk about.
Generous.
Oh,
You're
that's what I would
very
do. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But I don't think women of today will do that. They just buy a ticket and go.
And the groups who form. There might be 3 who took a training program together, or 2 were in an MA program together. But then they have another friend, and this one has another friend. So it might be 5 women, but only 3 of them knew each other to begin with. And then the next trip, 3 of the 5 and 3 from another place.
Yeah, they add another one. Yeah.
So that we don't have, and this is what I hear women thirsting for, the long-term girlfriends. You can go and have a good time. You can go and eat wonderful food. You can go and see beautiful sights. Who do you talk to about your long-term goals? What are you missing? What do you want? So we say you have more choices. That's absolutely true.
Yes.
You have more choices. Women have never had as many choices of have children or not have children. Good birth control methods.
Yeah.
Feel guilty about it or not feel guilty about public discussion so you don't feel guilty about it. Who can you talk to? There's lots of women your age now who've never had children. So we're changing the biological prescription for women, but we're trying to develop what should she be? Happy. Okay, what does happy mean? Those in counseling know happiness also means when you're helping others. There are very few people who feel absolutely happy in their studio all by themselves. Happiness comes from being with other people and sharing joy. Sharing joy. Okay, but what do we tell women career-wise? Now, in the secondary schools, we're telling girls and boys you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. You can get into university. Yes. You can get the first job. Yes. And then what happens is the bright, ambitious girls start moving ahead faster than the boys. By the time they're 30, women are making more money than men who graduated the same years with them because of this wonderful communication skills.
Yeah.
They move in management, they move in specialization, they identify what they want. And then we're into that difficult set of years again. Do you have a baby? Do you not have a baby? Do you adopt a child? Do you not? Do you put time into family life or you don't put time into family? Oh, there's no easy way to handle all of that.
Yeah.
What's exciting for women, though, is around age 40 to 45, women are looking forward to what could they do for themselves. And I hear this. There's so many problems in the world. You know, Rosann, I want to work on like cleaning up the oceans, or I'm really interested in elephants. So they're working, but they have some kind of global cause. Animals are getting a lot of attention from women these days. They don't raise children nearly as much, but they care about sanctuaries for orangutans, and they worry about the tigers in India. So we have another perspective coming through that in the 70s, 80s, 90s, we didn't have women in neighborhoods talking about handicapped elephants. It didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
But the electronic communication shows us that the world is, maybe the planet's not in such good shape. We better take care of. it's not uncommon for corporate groups to have days or weekends when people go to help out.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
on these service corporate weekends, they feel they're bonding with
Yes.
friendships
Right.
and romantic relationships begin when people start talking about what makes them really happy.
Yeah.
It's not the profit margin, it's how we're helping other people.
Yeah.
So our work life has many more layers to it.
Actually, by putting women into the business setup, we have more humanistic part in it, you know. And Hong Kong, there are so many companies working very hard to qualify as a caring company, right?
Yes.
In order to be a caring company, you have to go to clean up the street, you know, help the old age, or go to visit the poor kids, the sick kids in the hospital. So this is more like some sort of service
Yes.
to the society. But it is good. So you can imagine, if you are in a very competitive environment, if you never add in this human factor, we are all become a robot. And
Yes.
as I said, you know, women finally move up the corporate ladder, and our vision should be create more human
Yes.
touch into a business entity.
Ah, human touch.
Yeah,
yes,
human
yes.
touch is so important. I remember once there's this woman CEO. She had, we call it the town hall meeting.
Oh, yes.
Right? And in the past, the meeting was held by the male CEO. Everyone was so quiet and was like, oh, CEO have something to say. Let's go to the conference room and hear what he has to say. But now the CEO is a woman. She has a town hall meeting. The town hall they have hot dogs, they have snacks. You know,
Yes.
people just, everyone has an opportunity to share. The mood is totally different.
Absolutely.
Right. So the thing is, if a woman finally decided to stay on the corporate ladder, want to continue to work, actually she doesn't need to become a man. She just can bring in her feminine issue, her female style to the corporation. And I think the corporation can definitely flourish because of this special touch. This how to say, tender. You
Yes,
know,
tender is a good word.
I remember this corporation was a really male corporation, a very technological company, and this year they finally have a female CEO. The first training the CEO asked the HR to do, and as a result they know me, is to a mindful training.
Oh, okay.
Right? You can never imagine a man
Yes.
CEO will do something like
No,
that.
they wouldn't.
No result.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, yeah.
So we see these combinations of work-oriented goals and then community slash family slash relationship goals. And it's very, very challenging. My book this time is a very classic on this of time, work, and leisure. Now, this is from the 1960s.
Wow.
Sebastian de Grazia was one of the first people to look at when are we working and when is it leisure, and equating work was something you had to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Leisure was something you liked to do.
Yes.
So you could work very hard if you were going to go play a sport on a weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you worked very hard because then you could go sing in the church choir.
Yeah.
We had work activities and leisure activities. Now, just see, from the 1960s to 20, we're almost up to 2020.
Yeah.
You were just talking about a corporation where there is work, but a give and take.
Yeah.
And then for a leisure activity, we're going to go clean up the beaches. So we have this change in our work cultural setting. What is work? What is leisure? If we ask working women, let me bring it to women,
Yeah.
what do you do in your leisure time? She looks at me and she says, I have no leisure
No
time.
leisure time.
I have, what do you mean leisure, Rosann?
Family time, maybe. Facial time. maybe to them.
maybe facial time,
Yoga time.
yoga time. But it's a small amount of time. Women tell me, or one woman likes cooking. She said, on the way home on Fridays, I go to the store to get organic this and fresh that, and I cook. And it's bliss for me over the weekend.
Yeah.
I cook. But you see how that woman makes it productive for herself and the family. Leisure time. He's drinking a beer, watching the football game. What is her leisure time?
Yeah.
And I want to help women to develop this.
Yes.
Because your brain, our brains, you cannot be work-oriented, then second shift, family relationships, and then what's left for you?
For you, yes.
There must be something for you. What
Yes.
do you really enjoy?
Yeah.
In the last section and the section before that, we talked about how problems get solved. And you said there must be some time alone. You must have some time to compose your thoughts, to think together. Think together with some higher power. And this is where we really have problems these days.
Yes.
What is work? What is leisure? What am I doing to promote myself? Where do I find the joy in being with others? And can there be any solitude? A future program on solitude.
On solitude.
Now, I've been talking about books. Tell me about movies.
Well,
what have you been
actually,
doing lately?
over this Easter holiday, I don't think there are too many very good
No,
movie I
yeah,
want to
no,
watch.
right.
I'm not those Marvel thing.
Yes.
So I missed the end game. But I think before the holiday, both of us went to see a movie. Is about this judge. This
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Right.
Yes,
The
yes.
movie name is On the Basis of Sex.
Yeah.
And I'm not too familiar with the American high court system.
Yes.
So when I watch this movie, to me it's just a movie.
Yeah.
But give me a lot of inspiration is on, wow, we have come a long way.
Yes.
Yeah, just imagine, I remember at the beginning of the movie, it showed how she got into, I think it's Harvard, right? Law
Yes.
school. And she is like one of the 3 women among 100 of male
Yes.
students, and she works so hard to get what she wants. And at that movie, if you remember, she got a very supportive husband,
Oh, a miracle man.
miracle man,
He was wonderful.
right? And you can imagine she's now in her 70s.
That's right.
So when she went through her study, at that time was in the 40s.
That's right. 40s and 50s. Yes,
right?
yes.
So at that time, she was so lucky to have such a supportive husband.
I often wonder, how did that happen? Few women, and I think I was one, have really great men in their lives.
Yeah.
But how did that? But he said, you do a good job. Let them know it's your brain.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, these kind of words, this kind of concept is still not very popular in Hong Kong. Definitely not very popular in China.
And not in Asia generally.
Not in Asia generally, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the reason I choose this movie, I think even though it's a movie, it sort of give me a lot of, how to say, positive reinforcement, you know. Woman, if you know what you are good at,
Yes.
don't feel embarrassed, you know.
Right.
And you are lucky if you have such a supportive husband, but still you have to believe in yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, we can all contribute. We can all do something for the betterment of the world. You know, you
Yes.
don't need to hold yourself back. And sometimes what you said just now remind me of, well, maybe women need to prove ourselves so much, so we just work. After that, we still work hard in our family. We don't really give ourselves some time to relax.
Yes.
Yeah. And the leisure thing, when you said it just now, I was thinking,
Oh.
did I do anything for leisure? So I was a little bit guilty.
Yeah.
You see, I'm very quiet today because
Yeah.
if you talk about work, I have a lot of things to say.
Right.
But when you talk about leisure,
Okay, but it doesn't have to be by the week.
yes.
By the seasons.
Okay.
By the seasons. In the movie,
Yeah.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg has
Uh-huh.
a daughter and a son.
Yes.
She brings the daughter into her work.
Yes.
She allows the kids to see
Uh-huh.
that She has something she wants to accomplish.
Yes, yes.
And it helps us to see that there's a role in the family. It's not dad's doing his job, mom's doing her job, and you guys gotta come along. But rather, hey, will you please look at what your mother is doing,
yeah.
and maybe be a little bit more supportive
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
She doesn't have to help you all the time. You help her.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, it's an awakening for kids
Yes.
that you have some responsibility. You can't grow up and think everybody's going to serve you. Start serving other people sooner in your life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that part I was very impressive too, right?
Yes.
I don't think Asian mother ever think of it. They are always the caring person, the provider. And that part, I think her daughter did a pretty good job too. You know,
Her daughter began to help with the research.
Yes.
Her daughter used to argue with mom.
Yeah.
But if mom doesn't provide some hope for how women are going to be, for how men and women could get along, for how we're going to help the society, who else is going to do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Asian mothers in Asia, wake up.
Yes.
Time's changing.
Yes.
And these are things you want to do. You know you want to do it. So we can help guide our kids. Our kids have to help us as we move along.
Yes.
Yes, they must.
Yes.
They must.
That's
oh my
a
goodness.
pretty good way to end.
That's a way to end.
Yeah.
Working together to help women. Okay.
See you at our last episode.
Last episode, being alone.
Yes.
Yes.